Okay, so let's start where we kind of ended off with creating accounts. I created an account for everyone. You will not receive an email since the staging server doesn't have that set up, so they will not deliver an email message to you. But I will show you in another environment how that all works, because I really want to show you like how that process plays out. But you can go to the site and log in by going to this URL. I'm gonna see. I don't know how should I make this bigger. Let me put this in a doc and I'll zoom in a bit so you guys can read it. So everyone should be able to, and let me know if you haven't, if you're not able to, go to this URL. This is going to be the login. So if I went to it, it'll look like this. /user is always the that login URL. Your username is the first part of your email address, so before the and then your password is password 123. Super secure. And once you're logged in, just 123. If that didn't work, let me know. Yeah, and hopefully you sent me an email with your email. Well, I mean, obviously it's going to include your email address, but I needed to receive that email so I can create your user account. Okay, what is your email address? Okay. Just George Smith. Let me just reset the password so then you can get in. This is a different one probably than you were using. We will in just a sec. But the password to log into the site is just password 123. And yes, what is your email address? Sorry, what was that? I can't hear. There it is. And you did Steph underscore? Okay, let me just make sure. Just reset the password just in case. Okay, try again.
Just get rid of the BLM.
The first part of your email before the %. Or the and, not the %. At. What's that? What's your J?
No, I just did a lowercase password.
Yes. Now. Yeah. Okay, hold on one sec. So the J. All lowercase.
Do these passwords have to be changed?
We will. No, but there are modules that you can force people to like do like ever so often, every like few months you can change it, which is actually a good module to add. But built in, no, there isn't one. But it's actually kind of. I'll write that down. Yes. Yeah, it looks like we have a few users that haven't been able to log in. This one, yeah. And you're using your username as is. Let's try again. Let's reset it one more time. Okay, try it. Yeah, you're not right.
Yeah, maybe it just takes some time.
Okay, let me put that URL back up there. So this is the URL. So for those who haven't been able to log in, make sure you're using the right web address.
Did you respond to our emails?
I didn't respond. I just used it to copy and paste your email address. Okay, try again, Chris. Okay. We have this.
Nothing's working on mine.
No, what's that?
Nothing's working on mine. I didn't know whether Stephen reached 67 or Steve or Esley.
Let's see. What email address did you send me?
I sent it from Stephen.
Steven.
No, with PH.
CS. Which one? Ellie. I'm not seeing it. Let's see. Let's scroll down.
There it is, near the bottom second.
Let's see if I make sure. Yeah, I just want to make sure if. Which one do you want me to use? Your Gmail one or?
We'll use the, if I'm only going to need to do this work at work, then we can use the BLM one.
And this is like just a one we're gonna.
It's easier to type.
You're not.
So I'll do that one.
Yeah, the long one. Let's just use the do the short one. Yeah. I don't know why this wasn't created. Okay. Yeah. So just no problem. Just go to that URL. Should be able to use that to log in now. Okay. Okay, you're the last one.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone, let's get started again. Everyone should have been able to log in, right? Raise your hand if you weren't, and I can actually log in and refresh, and I can see everyone's access. You can see last access, so that's kind of again a nice feature. I can see everyone's roles, and I can see how long they've been a member. But yeah, so we've created like 30 accounts. Everyone should have access. And I want to kind of walk you through the experience of how the user would typically get that email that I was describing before our break, and how they would be able to log in with that email and change their password. So you don't have to do anything on your site right now if you want to just watch the screen. I will create an account for a user. So to do so, I go to People, Add New User, and again, don't do this on yours. This is just a demo. So I'm going to send it to, again, we're going to use test. I have this set up locally so I can receive this email. The username is going to be test. Setting up the password. Password is somewhat irrelevant because they're going to be setting up their own password in this method. But if this user asked for a specific password, here you can specifically add that password for them. So I'm going to make this new user be a part of the content editor role, and I want to make sure I notify this new user of an account. So by default, it won't do this. So you have to make sure you click this checkbox to notify the new user of an account. I'm going to click create an account. Now this is going to create their user account, and it's going to send that user further instructions. Has this message saying so. If I go to my internal kind of like local test email, I can actually retrieve this. And so they're gonna get an email just like this with your site name. Again, this is all, since it's customized and since it's dynamic, since this is Drupal, and you're gonna be putting your GACC name here. It's gonna have your brand, your site name right there, and it's also the from. You can change this too. So obviously it's not gonna send it out as me. It's going to be sending it out as your main email address for your GACC or the NIC or the regional site. And so this test user, blah, 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 it says that someone's creating an account for you. You can click this link, and then you can reset your password. Again, it doesn't show the password because that's not secure, but I can click this link to set my own password, and that's what I want to do right now. So as a user, this is what everyone that is going to have an account created for them, this is the experience they're going to share. So they're going to click this link. It's going to go to the site. Oh, okay, so I've already logged in. Let me log myself out. Or actually, let me open this up in a new incognito window. So I'm going to click that link, and I'm going to read this. So this link can only work once, and so that's important. I can't go back to this email and use that link, for perpetuity. Like it works once. I set my password, and then I log in normally. So I'm going to log in, click login, and now I'm logged into the site. If I go to test, and then go to edit profile. Okay, so again, we have this permission issue. Let me just change my permission for this test user for this demo. And this can happen, but I can quickly show you how I can change my password or this role for this test user. So this test user, I'm going to click edit. And let's just make him a site admin for now. for this demo. Okay, cool. Now if I refresh, go back. Okay, so this is what it should look like. I go in here and I can see my account. This is my account, and I can change my password if I should change my password now or set it right now, so I can log in. So I'm going to change my password to something I can remember, but that's secure. And it'll tell you if it's strong and if it's matching, and it'll kind of give you some recommendations on like what to use that would make it stronger. I have my roles, and then if I click save, I'm done, and then I can use the site as normal. So again, I see this test selected my user account, and I can't see my Drupal tools. All I have to do is click manage, and then bam, I'm back in, and I can start, managing the site's content. And same thing, let's go back to test, and this is like kind of a very similar process, but for some reason this can trip some people up. If I log out, let's say I log out and I forget my password. This is common. People, this can happen. So if I go to /user, and this feature works for all Drupal sites that have this enabled, I can reset my password by clicking this link. So I go to /user, go to reset my password, and then I can enter in my username or my password. So I'm going to enter in my username. And then this is going to send myself, and it says right here, it's going to send test instructions on how to reset their password. So if I go back to my email, I can see I just received an email message from the site, and it looks very similar to that new account, but the message is a little bit different. And these messages can actually be customized. We're not going to go through that in the training, but if you ever want to dig in Drupal, these messages can be tweaked a bit. But I'm going to copy this link, and then I'm going to paste this into my incognito window. Same thing, I'm resetting my password. I can only use this once. And then I'm going to go to my account, reset my password to something that's secure and that I can remember. And then hit save, and I'm done. So that's, obviously you have to have your passwords match. Okay, that's super strong. No, okay. There we go. Okay. Now we have our passwords matching. I can hit save, and now I'm in the account as normal, and I can manage the site. But that's just it's a super simple process, but as like the site administrators, you're going to have users underneath you that are going to be forgetting their password, and they're going to want your help. And so now you can kind of guide them through this process. But like that was mentioned before, we do have screencasts that cover this and all these steps that we're going to be going through today. But just for your sake, it's nice to get this whole login, log out, reset password kind of down, so then you're not locked out of your site, which is kind of important. So does anyone have any questions? Nope. Okay, cool. So everyone should be logged into the site. Let's see, did we cover everything? So we've covered roles, permissions, creating, deleting accounts, logging in, logging out, updating an account, updating your password, forget my password feature. So we've covered everything other than logging out. If you're using a shared computer, you just want to click your account or your username, and it'll go into those like sub account links, and you can either like edit your account here, edit your profile, and you can also log out. So if you are using that shared computer and you don't want other people to use your site, you can just click log out, and then it'll just send you to the front end of the site. And then if you want to go back to log in, where do we go? Okay, /user. Yes. Okay, good. Cool. So then I just log in and I'm back in, being able to, of course I've changed my password. Oh, let's use that one. Okay, here's one security feature that's always fun. If you've logged in or tried to log into the site too many times, it'll block you out temporarily. It'll block the IP address. This could be also from other, like, since we're all using the same site, it looks at us as like one user. So since like there were some attempts that when we were logging in that the password didn't match, this could have flagged our IP address. But since you guys are all logged in, we're okay. Let me see. I'm going to just hop on to my demo site. So I'm actually going to stop our recording because we've completed this first user account steps. So we're going to move on to basic site settings, and what basic site settings covers is the site name and email address, kind of customizing your site to your own GACC or your own regional. So let me stop the recording.